Good afternoon, folks. Momma Jo here. It's about 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and if you saw my community post, a lot of you probably didn't see that. I put a picture on there of what I'm going to make today, but I left out 2 ingredients, and I did that on purpose because I'm varying from the original recipe. So that's either going to be a good thing, or maybe it's going to be either a really great thing or maybe not so good of a thing. But I'm making a pumpkin roll. And one of the first things that we need to do is take our eggs, and they need time to beat. So I have 3 eggs right here, and I'm going to put them in my mixer. And I'm going to start off on low, and then I'm going to turn it up, and I'm going to let it beat for 10 minutes. And after it's beat for 10 minutes, I'll come back and we'll discuss the other ingredients. So it'll be just a second for you, but it'll be 10 minutes for me. Be right back. Okay, folks. All right, the eggs have beaten over here for 10 minutes. I used a timer on my stove, so I waited till that was done, and I went over and I turned my oven on to 375. You want to make sure your oven rack is in the middle position. You want to take a jelly roll pan. I'm not sure the exact measurements. I want to say it's like a 10 by 15. You want to line it with tin foil, and you want to liberally, very generously grease it. I just used I think I had some, I can't believe it's not butter, in the fridge. You just need something so that it will help not stick. So I'm going to set this over here to the side, and now what we want to do, the eggs can just sit there and wait, is get our dry ingredients together. I used Pillsbury soft to silk cake flour. You're going to need about a cup of that. Let me make sure. I made this many years ago, but I think the recipe that I used regular flour. I kind of am throwing this together using ingredients that I have and that I think will make this a little bit better. And by all means, when you see the 2 additional ingredients that I'm going to add that's not typical or normal for a pumpkin roll, you can leave those out and it'll just be an ordinary plain pumpkin roll. So in this, I'd say it's like a medium. It's not really a small bowl and it's not a large bowl. I'll put 1 cup of cake flour. And to this, I want to add some spices. I'm going to add a tongue-tied today, a teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Just close. It doesn't have to be perfect. You could use more or less. You could do half a teaspoon, You could use 2 teaspoons if you like a lot of cinnamon. I think ginger would be good in this. So I'm going to add about 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground ginger. Okay, cloves. I think I will add 1/4 of a teaspoon of ground cloves. A little bit of cloves goes a long ways, in my opinion. Okay, I'm going to add a little bit of salt, maybe 1/4 of a teaspoon of salt. Tuck. My little Shih Tzu's over there. You might have seen him in some videos. He had this blue thing around his head. It's inflatable. He's got hot spots that he's been biting on and chewing on, and I feel bad to leave it on him because as soon as you take it off of him, he's back to chewing. And even though I've been giving him special baths, but it's supposed to help them spots, but he's back over there chewing again. So now we need some leavening to these dry ingredients. I think I'm gonna add a half of a teaspoon of baking soda. Hope that's not too much, and a half of a teaspoon of baking powder. Now remember, this is going to be a very light, spongy cake. That's what you want. Okay, and I'm just whisking these dry ingredients together. Now I'm trying to figure out here how I can move you so maybe a little closer so that you can see. Hold on. Okay, sorry I can't be in the frame and show you what I'm doing over here at the same time. It seems like no matter where I move you, if I move you over that way, then I got the light from the kitchen window coming in, which causes a glare. If I turn you a different way, then the light above the island gets in the way. So you'll just have to bear with me, folks. I guess you can kind of see in here. Here's the eggs, the 3 eggs that have been beating for 10 minutes. They're really nice and fluffy now. Now our next step is to add the sugar, and it says to add it gradually. So I'm just going to put some of it in here. It's packed. I use packed brown sugar. So I'm going to put a little bit in here. And I'm going to start to beat that up. See, it goes up to 12, so I've got it halfway. And we're going to be putting some pumpkin in. Make sure you use 100% pure pumpkin. Don't use pumpkin pie mix. You want the pure pumpkin, canned pumpkin. And we're going to use 2/3 of a cup of that. And here's our dry ingredients. Let me stop that and add some more brown sugar. I'm kind of anxious to see how this is going to turn out with the different ingredients I'm going to add, which is essentially going to be, well, it's debatable. I can put the one ingredient in here and put the other in with the filling, or I could put them both in the filling. I'm kind of leaning towards putting both of those ingredients in the filling because I really don't want to change the taste of the pumpkin roll part of it itself. Okay, I'm going to put the rest of this in. This is just the brown sugar. Alright, once that's incorporated good, we'll start adding the pumpkin in a little at a time. The oven is preheated, it just peaked. Okay, I'm going to start putting a little of this pumpkin in. I have enough pumpkin left over, and I'll have enough cream cheese left over that I can make a plain one if I don't like the way this one turns out. Trying to scrape all the rest of this pumpkin out. Okay. There's that. Now I'm going to start adding some of the dry ingredients to this. Might be easier for me to do it this way. Trying to see how much I'm putting in there. Yeah. Start off slow or you'll be having a flour all over the place. Okay, I'm going to scrape down the sides. Sorry if I'm getting in your view. I got to be able to see what I'm doing. Alright. Let me get some more flour in here. I probably have about another third in here. Start off slow. Find that paper towel. Got a little bit of pumpkin on my hand. Alright, turn it up. I figured I had this cake flour, I might as well use it up. Alright, I'm going to scrape and I'm going to put the rest of the flour in. Okay, the rest of that's going in. Oops. Looking good. All right, this should be the final scraping down. All right. I think this is ready to pour. All right, let me see if I can set you up again. Okay, here it is. Here's my pan. I'm going to go ahead and pour it in. Trying to scrape around the sides and get as much out as I can. Okay, I see a little bit here on the back side. Okay, now what we want to do is try to get this spread. So see how I'm just tilting the pan? Try to get some in the corners. Y'all see what I'm doing? I gotta tilt it this way for a second. Okay, make sure it gets in the corner. Down here on this corner. Okay, down here on this corner. Okay. Now, I'm just kind of jiggling it. Kind of tapping it out. Hoping that it's nice and even. It's going in for 10 to 15 minutes. Okay, folks? 10 to 15 minutes. And I'll bring you back so you can get a better look. Okay, we'll be right back. Okay, important. I have the cake in. It's got about 9 minutes left. There is something you need to do. Get yourself a nice clean work surface. Get yourself a clean tea towel. Important. Spread it out. Okay? Get you some powdered sugar. And I'm going to sprinkle this powdered sugar. I'm looking for my, hold on a second. Sorry about that. I was looking for my wire mesh. It's there somewhere. Well, I'm just going to use my hands. Okay, take your powdered sugar and sprinkle it really well all over this tea towel. And I'm actually going to break up some of that with my hands, the lumps. You want it powdered really well, because when you take your cake out of the oven, you're going to flip it out almost immediately. Okay, onto this surface. And while it's hot, we need to roll it up. Okay. I didn't think about that until after I put you all on pause there. Okay. That's going to help it to not stick to your towel, okay? And then we're going to need more powdered sugar when we go to make the filling. Okay, it's ready, so I'll bring you back when it's done. Out of the oven. Okay, folks, it's been 10 minutes. I checked it, and it seems done to me. I'm going to put a little more powdered sugar in here. I'd rather make sure I have enough than not enough. See how I'm just dusting it generously here? I want to make sure I got enough. Okay, I'm going to bring the cake over so you can see it. I'm going to try to loosen it up for you. That's what she looks like. Okay, this is quite not where I want so you all can see. Let me see if I can move you back here. Oh, how's that? Hopefully that's a little bit better. Okay, what I'm going to do is pull up tinfoil a little bit, and I'm going to try to, hopefully it doesn't stick to the sides too much. Let me get a butter knife. And I'm just going to kind of go around the edge, just like so. Make sure it's not sticking. Okay. And when we go to roll it up, you want the short, this is what I call the short end over here. This is the long. We'll roll it up from either short end. Okay, I'm going across here with my knife. Okay, the fun part is I'm going to try to flip it here. Well, I'm going to take the whole pan. This thing's hot, so please be careful. You might see a plume of powdered sugar here in a second too. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it like this. And I'm going to flip, just like that. I think I scared my little doggy. Okay, now I got to get this pan off of here without burning myself. Okay. There we go. All right, there's my pan. Okay, let me bring you in a little bit. There we go. Now, very carefully, take your tinfoil off. Gently. Just like so. Okay. Now, I'm going to take it, I'm going to start rolling it. Just like so. Do you see that? How I'm just rolling it? Okay. Let me get my baking rack. Sorry about the noise, folks. That's all my baking stuff down there. All right. And I'm just going to lift this up. I'm going to let it sit here. I'm going to let that cool. Make sure I got it over for it. Yeah. After this cools, I'm going to come back. We'll make the filling together, and I'll unroll it, and I'll show you, you know, the rest of the steps. So probably be back, probably in about an hour or two, but it'll only be a few seconds for you guys. All right. Okay, folks, we are back. I apologize if there's a little glare on there. The pumpkin rolls over there, and I think it's cool enough for us to go ahead and do the filling. Now, in this mixer, I have, let's see, not 8 ounces, I have 4 ounces of Philadelphia cream cheese that's basically at room temperature. And that other ingredient I was telling you about that I thought would be really good in this, and I only used half of this. This is 8 ounces. So this would be 4 ounces of mascarpone cheese. A lot of people use this in tiramisu desserts, but you can use this in more than just tiramisu. It says for tiramisu and more. And actually there's a tiramisu recipe on here that would be probably really good to try. I thought that would be very good. Most pumpkin recipe rolls traditionally just use Philadelphia cream cheese. I'm using half Philadelphia cream cheese and half of this mascarpone. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and start to get this beat up together. Well, it might help if I plug it in. I unplugged it earlier when I was cleaning the bowls and stuff. Okay, there we go. To this, I'm going to add a little bit of salt to help with the flavor. And we're going to add about a tablespoon of vanilla extract. You could use more or less of that if you want. Okay. It's just beating there on top, so let me get this spatula to get it better incorporated. then the other different ingredient that I'm going to add is I have some of this Nescafe Gold Espresso blonde. I'm going to start off with a teaspoon, and we need to add powdered sugar to this. So let me just put in a teaspoon, get that incorporated. And I'm going to get the powdered sugar in there. And after I do all that, I'm going to come back and determine whether I want to add any more or not. So let me go get my powdered sugar and I'll be right back. Okay, I brought y'all back. Let's see. I have added 2 cups of powdered sugar to this. So I'm going to slowly start that out. It's kind of like making an icing in a way. Alright, much better. Let me scrape this down a little bit. Boy, you can smell that coffee. I hope I didn't add too much. See, it gave it like a golden color. Get a little spoon, give it a little taste test. I think that's just right. It kind of, let's try to how to describe it. You can still taste the cream cheese, but it's very creamy using that that other cheese, mascarpone. I don't know, it's hard to say. I have trouble saying hard words like that. But that coffee has given it, I think that paired with the pumpkin cake is going to be delicious. That's just my opinion. You could always leave that out. If you like more of a tangy filling, just go with the cream cheese. But I really like this. I'm really excited. I want to see what my family thinks. I'm going to set you up over here so you can see me unroll the cake and spread the icing on there. Be right back. Okay, folks. I saved that tin foil that I peeled off. I don't like to waste anything. I mean, you could get yourself some clean plastic wrap, and when you get done with this, part, putting the filling on, rolling it up. When you want to stick it, you want to go in the refrigerator and let it get nice and cold and firmed up. But I'm just going to use my my tin foil here that I saved from, that was on here. So let's unroll the cake, see how it looks. Ah, beautiful. Now, a little bit of cracking from my understanding is normal, so don't be too worried about that. And what I'm going to do here, I'm going to get all this golden filling and just kind of dollop it on here and spread it out. Because you have to remember, right now it's a kind of a soft texture, but when we roll it up and it goes in the refrigerator, everything's going to firm back up. Okay, try to get as much out of here as I can. Okay, that's pretty good. I've got an offset spatula here I'm going to use. filling I can off of there. All right, we're just going to start spreading it out. Try to get a nice, even layer. Now you might want to leave a little bit of room around the edges, because you got to remember, when you roll this up, a lot of this filling is going to ooze, and that's okay. It's expected to do that. Hope you all can see me pretty good here what I'm doing. Okay, I'm just kind of evening it out a little bit, best I can. Okay, what I'm going to do, I'm going to start, watch out. I'm going to start with the end that I already had previously rolled. And I'm going to try to get use your paper towel. Use your see how it's cracking a little? That's to be expected. That's okay. And they're not going to see that part anyway. Okay, so what I'm doing is I'm kind of rolling it and peeling away at the same time. See how it's pushing that filling? I hope you can see it. Sorry if you can't see that. Okay, it's going to ooze out there. Let me get my all set spatula. I'm just going to kind of scrape a little bit of that out. Okay, I'm going to wash this, so that's not going to matter. You want to make sure that when you go to place your pumpkin roll, it's seam sag down. See, it's nice and pretty on top. That really helped making sure you powder, your paper towel. Now, to transfer it, the fun part. Don't worry about these ends, because everything's going to set up and you're going to end up cutting your ends off anyway. What you want to worry about is, let me see if I can get my hand under here. Yeah. Okay. You've got to turn it this way. All right. That is a sticky mess. Okay. Probably could have used another. Now I'm going to wrap this up. I'm going to stick it in the fridge and give it time for everything to firm and set up. And don't worry if there's little cracks, because that is to be expected. when you go to slice it and you go to put powdered sugar on it, you're not going to see it. I didn't see any here. There was a little bit here on the side. But the main thing is how it's going to taste. So, all right. I'll bring you back when I might go ahead and post this recipe. That way I can get the video up, and I'll do a short tomorrow with my family doing a taste test, and they'll let you know what you think. Okay, I hope everybody has a wonderful day.